Most people agree that humans are usually innately scared of the dark, but most overlook the unknown as another umbrella above the dark that we fear naturally. We hate what we don't understand. It's everywhere. Think about your senses, your taste, your touch, your smell, sound, and sight. Every blink, you're plunged into darkness for a moment, but only your sight. Every blink, you can't see what's in front of you any better than you can see behind your head at any time. Every blink, you're looking away. You can't react, you can't see, because every time it gets closer, every time you blink, you see no evil. So don't blink. Today we'll be talking about two games from the early 2010s era of the internet, ones you'll likely recognize and that I grew up watching people play. SCP Containment Breach and Slender the Eight Pages. More specifically, the shared mechanics of SCP-173 and Slenderman. Look away, and they get closer. Hi, I'm Ellen from Cast Off Shell. Before I get into this video, I'd like if you would please like and subscribe. This is my first official video, so I can use the support. None of the gameplay in this video is mine. SCP Containment Breach runs like a potato for some reason, despite my PC's price, and I'm just bad at Slender the Eight Pages. So yeah, not my gameplay. I'll link the videos. I got them in the description. Now, let's get into it. Everyone in their PTSD having grandpas watched Markiplier play this game. Containment Breach has kind of revolutionized horror game mechanics. For example, look away and you die. Look and you die. Make a sound and you die, etc. What's different about SCP-173 is that it introduces and revolves around a main mechanic which isn't in a lot of other games, blinking. And you're introduced to it immediately in the opening sequence. The game explains the mechanic very well. In the intro, the lights turn off, someone dies. Another person dies when the lights turn off, etc. Then the game starts. Anyways, blinking in the game has a timer, forcing you to blink every 15-ish seconds. It makes being around SCP-173 a very tense experience. Being stuck on one wrong thing or turning a bit too far can take you a couple steps closer to death. SCP-173 is a classic monster, and essentially sets the stage for all the other enemies that work like this, or it's a statue, mannequin, or a radioactive war machine. What makes 173 special is blinking. The blinking mechanic adds a lot of well-implemented realism into the game, along with making it a sometimes boring mechanic into something scarier. Its speed justifying it. SCP-173 takes away your safety and sight with blinking, but that's not the only way games punish you for staring. For example, Slenderman. Slender the Eight Pages is a classic. It's simple, but the formula works. It keeps you stressed throughout the playthrough by pairing its look away and it gets closer mechanic with a stare too long and you die mechanic, making a lose-lose situation. Unless, of course, you stabilize your stamina with looking back to stop Slender from chasing you too long by looking at him and looking back away in order to keep moving, because you can only sprint by looking forward. All the while looking for 8 pages in under 16 minutes, which is about the time at which your battery runs out. Every second is burning time and visibility. Unless you're fairly good at routing and remembering the layout around Slenderman's movement, you're toast. Personally, I never beat this game because my attention span is fried and the gameplay loop is pretty repetitive. I ended up getting 3 pages on my first run and oscillating between like 2 to 4 areas while Slenderman chased me around until my battery died, and I lost the will to keep playing. But the whole thing was really tense. Slenderman's mechanics are also very interesting. When unobserved, he slowly moves towards you. But while being observed, he'll slowly fill your screen with static, which helps you locate him under pressure, but also stops you from abusing his inability to move while perceived. Other than SCP-173 and Slenderman, this mechanic is used in a lot of other enemies in other games too, proving how widespread of a phenomenon it is past those games. Here's a few examples. Coilheads and Lethal Company are some of my favorite enemies due to their mechanics and lore. Their design is also super creepy, one of my favorite designs in Lethal. That paired with their sound design makes them fit right at home with the others on this list, despite their simplicity. Okay, who actually remembers Miss Delight other than me? She was kind of a mid-fight. I mean, it's scary. It was scary, but it's not that memorable. For me, at least. Pressure was always one of my favorite Roblox games, and the Megahunt was a very stressful but fun time for me and those I played it with. This expedition, The Hunted, the Crooked shakes up the original mechanic by not being able to insta-kill and having events that can teleport through part of the mechanic, being able to teleport right behind you if you aren't weary. I loved playing against the Crooked for the first few runs, but the Hunted is a super fun expedition, especially the Vault, which has an amazing soundtrack, which I'll let a bit of it play here. Technically they count, because looking at them on the cameras halts their progression to the office. I never expected Minecraft to make stuff past the warning that was horror-oriented, and while I can't say they did it well, they did it, at least. I do wish the creaking was a bit more dangerous and scarier, but I always liked the Pale Garden as a biome, and mods exist for a reason. I haven't played Content Warning in a while, and it's a very niche game, but the weeping enemy just adds to the game's core silliness that holds it together. You having to complete a captcha to save your captured friend. And now, a tier list.
Hello. Today we're going to be listing all of these guys on a tier list. Pretend the Enderman and the Bracken aren't there. So let's start off. SCP-173 he's the original. We have to put him in S, you know? It's like a requirement if you think about it. Except Slenderman. I want to put an S, but I don't know, I just don't like. It's not that I don't like the original Slender Day pages. It just gets a little tedious. It's very difficult, but I'm alright with difficult games, to be honest. I'm just not good at them. The mannequins from anything that has mannequins that only move when you're not looking at them. Mannequins are cool. I think they should go in A tier, B tier at least. You know, if I put more stuff in B tier, then I'll move mannequins down to the top of B tier, but right now they're going to be going at the end of A tier. Unless you're doing like 420 mode and like Ultimate Custom Night and like competitive, not really competitive, I don't think there's competitive FNAF, but stuff like that, then, I guess we'll put in C. The Boos from Mario. They're a good introduction to it, to the mechanic. I think they go in B. There's nothing really great or bad about it. It's a Mario game, so. The coil heads. Oh, I love the coil heads. They're really annoying. I love the coil heads. They're really annoying, though. They're really annoying. I guess B. Above the Boos, though. The Crooked. I really like the Crooked. I think it should go, like, either top of A tier, either top of A tier or S. I think they should go top of A tier. Because next we have the Endos from Security Breach. I know that there's a lot of them in the Security Breach. There's not like a blinking mechanic, but I know they weren't super fast, but they were a little annoying. I'll say that they go in like the last bottom of B tier. Now I can't make a video about don't blink as a mechanic without mentioning the Weeping Angels, and they have to go in S tier, but like below SCP-173, but they have to go in S tier, you know? Next up, Specimen 6, I think? Yeah, Specimen 6 from Spooky Jumpscare Mansion. I played Spooky Jumpscare Mansion and I encountered this guy. It wasn't really nothing, it wasn't anything notable, to be honest. Top of C tier. Did the mechanic pretty well. But Spooky Jumpscare Mansion is kind of boring, not gonna lie. To me, at least. But I imagine at the time, it was pretty good. Miss Delight from Poppy Playtime. Um, I'm gonna have to put her in D tier because, well, it is pretty scary though. It is pretty scary though, from what I've seen. But her original mechanic wasn't even don't blink. It was, or don't look away. It was like every time the lights go off, she moves. But I don't know. You know, I'll move this guy up here, and then I'll keep her here, behind Freddy. The creaking, D tier. It's kind of a non-threat, to be honest. It's a non-issue. And there's nothing worth going and interacting with it. It deals like 1.1.5 hearts of damage. The weeping from content warning. Hmm. I want to put in either like middle of A or like S, back of S tier. But I don't think it has enough like publicity to go in S tier. So I might put it at the top of B. Because I really like its mechanic. I love the mechanic of the weeping and uh and the crooked from pressure. Uh the weeping is from Content Warning, which is kind of a niche game. It's kind of like Lethal Company, but yeah. So that's the list.
Well, that's my first video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and maybe the next one will be longer. Give me all suggestions down in the comments. Hopefully, I'll make a video on it, maybe. Maybe. That'll be all for now. Remember to sleep with one eye closed, and don't blink.